I want to take a little different approach today, gentlemen. I'm going to ask you a few quick questions. Feel free to give me a yes or no. There's a method here to my madness. Like everybody else in the Western Hemisphere and a few in the Eastern, I have some specific projects I'd like to talk to you about, but I'm not going to talk to you about them today. I want to talk about a larger issue, and that has to do with the integrity of the Corps and some of this loose talk about earmarks. So let me ask you a couple of questions. With the exception of a really small number of projects, less than 1%, is it not true that Congress doesn't authorize construction of proposed Corps projects without a comprehensive study that can take up to years to complete to determine if the project's economically justified? Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
That study's also got to show that the project's environmentally sound, right?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Technically feasible, is that correct?
Yes, Senator.
So somebody just can't call you folks up at the Corps and say, I've got a project and I want it done, and you better get it done. It doesn't work that way, does it?
That's correct, Senator. It does not.
All right. In your years at the Corps, what percentage of all Corps projects have been authorized for by Congress for construction without meeting this three-part test?
Sir, I've been with the Corps 6.5 years. I'm not aware of any.
Any. Every project has had to be economically justified, environmentally sound, and technically feasible, based on an objective study.
Senator, that's correct.
Not by politicians.
That's correct.
All right. What's a favorable chief's report mean?
Sir, it means that the project, as you said, is technically feasible, it's economically justified, and it will achieve its desired effect in one of our core mission areas.
Okay. And in your years with the Corps, what's your best estimate of all the construction authorizations that have been enacted without a favorable chief's report?
Sir, I'm not aware of any that have been authorized without a favorable report.
Okay. And not to put too fine a point on it, but one of the things that the Corps looks at in this study, which can take years, is whether the taxpayers are getting a return on their investment. In other words, the benefits have to substantially outweigh the costs. Is that right?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Now, earlier I talked about HISTRIS and the levee protection system in southeast Louisiana, which protects Louisiana from the south. But like a lot of states, we're not only endangered by the south, water from the south, we're endangered by water from the north. Louisiana, you can see from the map, drains 41% of the continental United States and parts of two Canadian provinces. So we have a threat from the north, from water. The Great Flood of 1927, we remember it. I don't remember how many tens of thousands of acres flooded, millions dollars worth of damage. This is 1927 now. As usual, America turned to the Corps of Engineers. And we said, help us fix it. And you did. And you built levees from just south of the Canadian border all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. Cost $13 billion. Man, that was a lot of money then. It saved this country trillions of dollars. And the point I'm trying to make, look, earmarks are now back. And I'm not making a critical or laudable statement about them. It's up to the senator whether they want to do earmarks. But I don't want there to be any confusion. I don't know the technical definition of an earmark. I don't know how many lawyers can dance on the head of a pin either. But I don't want these Corps projects to be considered earmarks. This isn't politics. These projects have to be studied. They have to have a substantial return on an investment. And I want this country to know that and be proud of that. And I don't want, as we have this discussion about earmarks, the sterling reputation of the Corps of Engineers to be tarnished. Thank you, Madam Chair.